Alright, welcome back to Roguetech, and welcome back to your first playthrough. And if your first playthrough is starting this well, wow. Okay. So, we're going to start at the top, because this is something I want to draw attention to. We know that the Incubus punched out, and I believe that is where the Clan Double XL engine came from. Because the Urban Mech was not Clan Tech. The Urban Mech was snub-nosed PPC and Inner Sphere equipment. Although it did have nice electronic warfare stuff. But the only Clan Mech that, well, other than the Roadrunner, which... Can Roadrunners have double XL? In any case, the point being, I could use 4 priority picks to grab all 4 parts of the Incubus, build it, and potentially get the Clan Indo, the Clan Pharaoh, the Clan ER Large Pulse Laser, the Clan ER Medium Lasers, the 4 AP Gauss Rifles, the ammo, I'm pretty sure the XL Gyro also came out of the Incubus. But we could get, potentially, if we got very lucky, we could get tons of really good stuff. And we would have just another 30-ton mech to build. And that's not a bad idea. However, it is definitely a full-on gamble. Because, worst case scenario, you have an incredibly busted 30-tonner. And, yeah... If it doesn't come with any of the good stuff, you're passing up on everything else. Now, obviously, if we're going to take parts of mech or vehicles, we're taking the Incubus, 100%. If we were to take parts, it would be parts of the Incubus. And we're definitely going to take, if we're going for like Clan Medium ER Pulse Lasers and Clan Large ER Pulse, we'd be better off just going for the Incubus, because in my opinion, a 30-ton mech, even if it didn't have anything intact, would be better than those. Getting them random, that'd be awesome. But just picking them as a priority pick, no. Same with the snub-nosed PPC, and honestly, because the entire Incubus that we know was carrying the AP Gauss rifles is fully salvageable, it's also better than to spend 4 parts gambling on everything that's in it, rather than taking 2 priority picks to get the AP Gauss rifles and the ammo to run them. So that knocks out all the weapon systems. Tag, again, is incredibly powerful early game. +1 evasion ignore, +1 accuracy, and it makes the target easier to see, easier to detect, so you get better sensor information, less chance of a no sensors debuff. But in relation to everything else we have available, 2 tags aren't that interesting. Although, I would value the 2 tags over the Beagle Probe. I would. Like, the +1 accuracy and the, easier to see, easier to detect. I would take it over the Beagle Probe, or maybe even the ECM. Maybe. The ECM is more of a defensive pick. Clan Cockpit. Again, this is one of those things where if we pick the Incubus, we might get the Clan Cockpit. Or the Clan Cockpit might just be a default piece of equipment in it. Same with the Clan Fire Control Standard. If I were going to pick something other than the Incubus, if I were going to spend picks on anything other than the Clan XXL and the Gyro XL, it would likely be the Guardian ECM and the Glazed Armor. Because the Glazed Armor is -11% armor weight, so 1% less reduction than standard ferrofibers. But it comes with case, just like any other clan armor, and it comes with 30% resistance to energy-based attacks, so you take 30% less damage from energy weapons, with the trade-off being that you're taking 15% more damage from ballistic and missile weapons. And especially early game, when you're facing a lot of lasers, and most autocannons aren't super big. Like a 15% extra damage from an AC2 or an AC5 isn't nearly as bad as like taking an extra 15% damage from an AC20 or an Ultra AC20. So in my opinion, glazed armor is really strong early game, and then it starts falling off as rotary autocannons and ultra autocannons and things like that become more common. But because the only two things that I think are a higher priority than having another 30-ton mech, regardless of whether it's busted completely or not, and again, because we're still in the financial report where we went extravagant, which means we have the 25% increased mech tech, I'm gonna go for the gamble of maybe getting some really, really juicy clan tech out of the Incubus. And again, worst case scenario, we just have another 30-tonner to build. But if that wasn't the case, if we didn't have all 4 parts available, absolutely the AP Gauss rifle and the max shot ammo would be really, really good to have for our Firestarter Omni-Mech. Because we could just slap all of them in, along with the machine gun array, and then have some big pinpoint damage, like an autocannon or a large laser or something, to hopefully shred the armor instantly and then follow up with a ton of crits. Because AP Gauss rifles, max range 480, optimal range 240, plus 50% crit chance. It has a high base crit chance, and the damage falling off does not affect the crit chance. Which means if you're trying to crit somebody out with AP Gauss rifles, you can literally just fall back and fire at longer range to do less structure damage and have a higher chance of getting the crits you want. But even if you're not going for crits, 18 damage for half a ton in 3 damage instances is very respectable. Like, yeah, I've already extensively covered the accuracy benefits because of the way statistics work. From having 3 damage instances instead of 1 to do the same amount of damage. So, if that's what we're doing, we're taking the immediately most valuable and interesting picks, and then a just full-on gamble on potentially having even more crazy good stuff. And yeah, we're gonna commit to that. So we also got Infiltrator part, whatever, Roadrunner part. I actually would build Roadrunners. They were very interesting. Saladin. Okay, 2 parts of a Saladin hover tank. I would love to build a Saladin at some point once we have a higher, higher hit chance with our vehicle pilots. Because if you do land that AC-20, it is very impactful. Not super interested in the CX. I mean, 2 SRM4s, a tag, and only 280 armor plates. So we actually got the Snubnose PPC. I'm actually happy to see. I'm happier seeing the Snubnose PPC than the Clan ER Large. Even though the Clan ER Large is, I think it's 50 damage. Don't quote me on that. But even though it's like comparable damage and 4 tons instead of 6, the Snubnose PPC is very good for reasons I will discuss later. Small pulse laser, sure. A bunch of SRMs, unfortunate. Yeah, that's a low roll right there. All the juicy stuff, and we got armor. Beagle Probe, I'm happy to see it as random salvage. Very happy to see it as random salvage. We got the 270 core, so if our Incubus does not come with its 270 core that it runs by default, we have one that we could potentially put in it. 120 core, we already have one, but we're still in light mech territory. And on a 30-ton mech, a 120 core is 4.6. It's not the best, but it's not like trash can level movement. So, potentially we use the 120 core in, well, we already have one, so we might end up selling it actually, but it's good to get. Engine cores are always good to have. They are worth a lot of money. Clan XXL. I'm going to hold on to it just in case. I just mostly want to show the expense of adding it to a mech. spoilers, I'm gonna sell it. But I'll get to that in a bit. We did get the clan fire control, so that's just straight up +1 gunnery to any particular mech we put it on. We got the clan glazed. That's so good. Jump jets, okay, whatever. Single heat sink cooling, oof, and standard fusion engine. Okay. So we did low roll on a good chunk of our salvage. But we have the Incubus to gamble on. So, first off, yes, 2800 one day, beautiful. So, the 1 day repair on the stealth, love to see it. We have all these things to work on, but we're just gonna, before the financial report wears off, and since we're not paying anything extra for doing it now compared to at the end of the financial report, let's build ourselves an Incubus right away. And we're gonna go and look at what it came with. So, how busted? Ooh, okay. Ooh, yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. So, we got one AP Gauss rifle. Literally everything else was completely broken. That said, this is what I was talking about with not really wanting to take the fire control cockpit or sensors clan over just building it. It also does come with just regular clan armor by default, so it has case built in. Period. Even if we don't do any kind of armor upgrade at all. That said, that's it. We get an AP Gauss rifle. It's not even an Omni-Mech either, which is rough. It does have hands, though, so it could potentially be a punchy boy. But yeah, this is the just shy of worst case scenario when you pick salvage of building something, hoping to get good stuff, because we didn't get the 270 core. That's almost 1 million C-bills. We didn't get the clan Indo, 320,000. We didn't get the clan XXL, which is very sad, because we could have sold 2 clan XXLs to get all the money we would need for quite a while. Didn't get the clan XL or the Gyro XL. Like, that's so rough. That's rough. But that's the trade-off. That is the trade-off whenever you take parts to build something to try to get good things out of it. However, once again, the reason I was so fine with doing that and gambling on all the components is because just having this chassis is worthwhile. First of all, even without the AP Gauss rifle, it has really good hard points. Like, it support in the head, so if we do end up with a tag, we could throw a tag in it. 2 energy and 4 ballistic in the side torsos, which again means we could actually make this into a fairly effective punchy boy. Just load up 4 machine guns and 2 lasers and then punch and follow up with a ton of potential crits. It also has 2 energy in the side, or in the arm, that gets +1 accuracy from the lower arm actuator, so we could also set this up as a 3 energy, 2 ballistic mech that has a shield side, which I'll get into shield sides once I'm actually building a mech that has one. But for now, just by shield arm, I mean an arm that has nothing in it, so if we lose the arm, it doesn't matter. And a shield side would be if you have left torso, leg, and arm, none of which have anything of value, so if you lose all 3, you're fine, which gives you the opportunity to punch out and save all the good stuff. But yeah, so since it has clan stock cockpit, which is... I anticipated this, which is another reason why I was glad to take it, even if we get none of the stuff out of it. So just by default, this Incubus, without anything special in it, without anything upgrading it, gets +1 laser accuracy from its quirk, +1 gunnery from the cockpit, +1 gunnery from the fire control, and bonus sight and sensors, and +1 to sensor detection from the clan sensors, which actually I think the bonus of 1 to sensor detection is for every sensor, but +5% sight and sensor range. So like, it's still pretty good early game to have, just to have, and build into a mech. Also, if we load this thing up with pulse lasers, with the weapon accuracy laser and the bonus gunnery, and then we use this with Narf to drop in as an extra mech that we can just drop in, it doesn't matter if it's controlled by a, subpar AI pilot, because it will have tons and tons of built-in inherent accuracy, and if it gets blown up, we wouldn't be losing too much, since short of the center torso being completely destroyed and losing the mech completely, we would never have to worry about the cockpit or, fire control being destroyed. So, worthwhile, even though nothing was intact. Very, very sad to see that nothing was intact, but at the same time, that's the risk you take. And for the purposes of this period of instruction, I'm very happy that I got absolutely nothing of value except for the one AP Gauss rifle that we don't even have ammo for, right? Yeah, we don't even have ammo for it. So I'm pretty sure mag shot's under Gauss. So yeah, we can't even run the one AP Gauss rifle we got. But we did get a full 30-ton mech that does come with good cockpit components that we can just eject, save the mech anytime we want without losing anything of real value. But we're not going to build that yet. First thing we're going to do is, we have 1.1 million C-bills. We're going to go to the store. Oh, right. Before I do this, let's just go back to the Incubus to use this as an example. Repair, internals. Okay, so it's 355,000 to repair. If we add just a Clan XL, which again, if we lose the side torso, we don't lose the mech with this. It's an extra 500,000, 540,000 C-bills. If we try to install the Clan XXL in a 30-ton mech, that's another 800,000 C-bills or so on a 30-tonner. If we then go to our Bushwhacker here, and we try to install the Clan XXL, we're looking at 2.1 million C-bills. And again, this is still if we lose a side torso, we lose the mech. So you're investing 2.1 million C-bills into a 55-tonner in the hopes that you never lose a side torso. Because, yeah, if you lose a side torso, even if you don't lose the mech chassis, you still lose the Clan XXL. So keep that in mind. 2 million C-bills if we wanted to install it in a 55-ton or higher mech. Versus if we go to the store, even though our reputation isn't great with the Republic of the Sphere, we can still go to sell, and we can still go down, and we can sell this Clan XXL for 1.6 million. 1.6 million. And we're going to do exactly that. Because that gives us 3 extravagant financial reports, if we so wanted. With the almost a million we already had, because with the first financial report we had covered plus some. But selling that Clan XXL, we now have enough to run extravagant for 3 straight financial reports, even if we don't drop on a single mission. Likewise, in engineering, that gives us enough that we could, if we drop on a couple more missions, build the Junkyard Leopard. Which, building the Junkyard Leopard opens up the ability to drop more tanks, more vehicles, more of everything. Alternatively, it completely pays for the beta pod with plenty to spare. It's an extravagant financial report plus the beta pod. Like, yes, having a Clan XXL engine is pretty neat. Having the ability to put it into the mechs that you want to put it in is a little bit of an ask, especially super early game. And the longer you hold on to it, the more you're paying each financial report to maybe eventually build and put it in a big, heavy, or assault mech, etc., etc. Or you can just take what is on offer and get all the C-bills you could possibly need to do all the repairs and building you currently want to do. Because selling that, gives us the ability to put that Clan XL engine into one of our medium mechs. Actually, now that I think about it, is the stealth running an XL? Well, we want to work on the stealth anyway, so yeah, we're going to forget about the 1 day of repairs it's got going. And it is, yes, it is currently running an XL. The Assassin also only has 1 day, but I don't remember whether that was repairs or whether that was a refit that we were doing. You know, either way, we're going to stop the work. We're going to stop the work. Whatever it was that we were doing, we're going to do something else. The Incubus, I am going to go in. I am going to drop the AP Gauss rifle because I don't care to repair it until I have ammo for it. And I'm going to repair all so that it also takes off all the broken stuff and the mech is fully ready to equip, outfit, give whatever to, and 14 days, 355,000, that's fine. Once again, if you click validate and there's so much going on you can't click to confirm or deny, escape will exit out and the enter key will confirm. And then you just confirm the repairs and boom. 355,000 I think it was, and now we're going to have another 30-tonner. So the Lamb and the Incubus are both going to be fully ready to outfit and equip. The Firestarter, we actually only started the repairs on, so we're actually going to need even more time to build it. Actually, the Phoenix Hawk's also just being repaired, I think. So let's just stop the work on that, and the Hornet, I'm fine with it currently the way it is, so we'll leave it repairing. Because I don't think I want to do anything, like, at all to the Hornet, probably ever. It will definitely be the first mech we drop. Despite my jokes about Locust being terrible, the Locust is just better suited for what it needs to do right now. Going fast on it as a 20-tonner is the only way you don't just die. And the Hornet doesn't go super fast. So yeah. For now, that's been your episode of Roguetech for the day. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a good one.